Imagining opening up a real declassified government UFO file, and the very first thing that you read is a 1966 radio message from an alien 400 light years away who sounds exactly like an angry college kid protesting about Vietnam War and everything else that's going wrong in the world. Well, I've been digging through these files, and what I'm finding is that things are a lot weirder than I expected. First, let's start with the 1966 corridor message. On May 4th, 1966, a young electronics technician named Bob Renaud claimed that he picked up a directional shortwave radio message from somebody calling himself Master Kaylin Lee Retan, head of Planet Corridor. The alien starts with a friendly, "Hello, friends," and then immediately launches into a full-blown rant about how the US government is a military puppet, the senators are robots, and the president is a pawn, and America's entire economy is hooked on war profits. It's basically the perfect 1966 counterculture talking points, word for word. Now, this is where it gets interesting, and this is exactly what I've been thinking while reading these. Carl Sagan laid this out perfectly in the book, The Demon Haunted World. He said every single time aliens show up with a message in these stories, the message just happens to match whatever the biggest fear or political issue is at the exact moment in history. Nuclear war in the 1950s, Vietnam in the 1960s, environment or pandemics today. It's always suspiciously on the nose. And the language? Well, it's pure 1966. 1966 English if we're looking at the corridor message. The greetings, the slang, the whole vibe is off. That's one of the biggest telltales for me. Now, that doesn't mean that aliens can't communicate to you in the proper English of that appropriate era, but it doesn't feel like it came from 400 light years away. It feels like it came straight from here, planet Earth, in 1966. Okay. But it's not all just one weird radio message. I also found a letter where the future president Gerald Ford, who was just a congressman from Michigan at the time, demanded that Congress hold real UFO hearings after a bunch of sightings in his own state. There's the wild Canadian government story about an exceptionally hard, unknown metal that was a matrix of magnesium orthosilicate filled with thousands of 15-micron metal spheres, microscopic little balls you can't even see without a microscope. And every other page has this stamp that says enclosure, which just means that there's something attached to the original memo, like a photo or extra report. Nothing too spooky or nothing too crazy, but just old school government filing. Okay, so here's my take after going through these files, at least the first batch that I opened on my computer. I'm keeping an open mind, but the pattern Carl Sagan pointed out is hard to ignore. These feel like they're reflecting whatever people were worried about at the time, not some advanced civilization trying to help us. At the time, it's fascinating that the government was actually collecting all this stuff and stamping it top secret. I mean, why bother if none of it mattered? I'm not saying every single report is fake. I'm just saying that the ones with long messages from aliens are almost always sounding way too human for me. That's the part that keeps me skeptical. So this is just part one. I'm going to keep reading these declassified UFO files and making these short videos so you don't have to. If you want part two, just like the button, I guess, drop a comment, or tell me which file case I should read about. And we're going to do